Hey guys, welcome back. It is Wednesday, June 9th, 2021. We're looking at the stock market here. Here's GameStop, here's SPY. If you haven't, sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. We're gonna go over what's going on with GameStop, their earnings, their shareholder meeting, and the market, and options plays, lots of options. So right now, we've got, what, half an hour to close. SPY's kind of selling off here. SPY's made all-time highs like three, 4 days in a row. Not in a row, but 3-4 days in the last month. And they've all been on red candles. This thing's just teetering around up here. So I keep getting SPY puts, but yeah, just gotta be patient on it. Maybe getting some more time. This is showing that it's definitely not breaking this resistance and it's just waiting to come down. And all these up days on red candles is hilarious. But anyways, sell off here and a bounce. GME does inverse the SPY, but only on occasion. I was just chatting actually on Discord about it. Figured I'd share it on here. When it's low volume like it's been and just manipulated whatever, it kind of just follows the market more or less. If the market makes a big move to the upside or downside, I shouldn't say it sticks with it, but it'll typically get pressure on the upside or downside. Now there's times when it inverses, and that's when it really that's when GME really rips. You can see it like here, it did it, and that's probably because positions are being closed from those that are shorting GME. So they're closing long positions, which is affecting the rest of the market, and they're closing short positions, which is affecting GME to the upside, the rest of the market to the downside. And so when we see big volume and big price action like this, that's when we see it inverse the SPY. So you can see it here. This is 6-8, 11-15, 6-8. So this was ripping, that was tanking. But if it's just pretty mellow moves, nothing too crazy like we see happening right now, it's a little crazy, but GME came down with that because I don't think this was a cause of hedge funds closing long positions to also then close short positions on GME. So GME kind of follows with it. That being said, if SPY in the overall market sells off, it puts more pressure on their accounts because their accounts basically lose value. And if their accounts lose value, they have to either deposit funds or they're going to get margin called or close positions. And so then it puts pressure. So if the market keeps going down, crypto going down, that will put pressure on them to close GME short positions, and then we'll see positive price action on GME, negative beta on the SPY, and it'll kind of probably accelerate each other, how fast the SPY is dropping and how fast GME is going up. But anyways, today was the GME shareholder meeting. Not much said in it, I guess somewhat typical for a shareholder meeting. They said the vote count, they can't be specific on it at this point, but they said a majority of the shares voted. Majority of the shares voted, if that makes sense. So over half of the shares voted. That could be 200% of the shares voted. That could be 50.0000001. But that's all that they could disclose. And I mean, that's even pretty good. I feel like we know that there was a huge number of people that voted for this, more than I'm sure in any time in GameStop's history, but also percentage wise probably more than almost any stock in history, I would say, because of the weight of this, the exposure of this. We had people in Europe and Asia, all over the world, that typically wouldn't even be able to vote in their meeting, in the shareholder meeting, but they pressured their brokers to be able to do it so that they could. So if this isn't like the highest percentage vote count of any stock, I mean, I'd be somewhat surprised. I think we are going to know the vote count I think they have up to three or 4 days before they have to disclose it. I'm not certain on that. That's what I've heard. But today after close, we have earnings on GameStop and the earnings call, which they discuss kind of upcoming plans, how their year was. And that could be a huge catalyst for everything going on. If you've been following, I was kind of hoping for this failed to deliver convergence to get us up into 500. It didn't. I guess my thought process on why it didn't is because it's just getting squeezed up here in this higher range, and getting to this higher range, it wasn't able to produce the same percentage results that it did in March and January, because this did happen in March and January, and this was one of my concerns. I don't remember if I voiced it in my videos, but I did actually. I said it could just stay lower. I remember saying it. You have to go back and double check me on that. But my one concern is that it could do what it did, even though I was hoping and planning on it not. Because back here had a lot more upside room. It was $20, then it found this floor at 32. So then this was also with tweets and Elon Musk and a lot of other stuff. But then in March, it was from a higher floor of $50, $60, and or no, I'm sorry. Well then, yeah, 50, 60 had the failed deliver, and then it made this floor at 120, 130. But then this one wasn't as high, of a push up, given it was still better than this one. But when we started this one, we kind of set this floor. It was at 170, much higher than the 40. And then after we had failed delivers, it's at this floor at 250, which would have been the 130 back here. But since we were already up into this 300, 350 range, it was already so high, it wasn't able to really push past that with any kind of velocity, and really just kind of solidify this resistance we're getting here around this 350. At 350, yeah. I didn't quite hit it, but it got really close. And yesterday when I saw this candle close on the daily, I was a little concerned that this was probably the day, this day right here, March 10th, even though this was a day later, which is this day now for us. And yeah, so it didn't quite happen like it worked out. If I had played it better though, I would have been up 25k on those options. I didn't. I was not expecting this short attack, and I also was not expecting this to be the high day. I thought this day that we had yesterday with this long doji was this day, so then I was assuming the next day would be this. And it's really funny actually how it played out, that this actually is similar, just big dojis on both sides, just like this one. I mean, it's bigger on the upside on that one, but yeah. So I guess the theory is just that the failed deliver is not pushing it up as high. They can't push it down as much. It's just not able to swing as much when it's this high. Because back here, I mean, after we had that high, this day was insane. This range from 350 to 170, and it opened and closed basically at the same price. So they had a lot more strength to pull it down then, as opposed to this day where it was 344 down to 288, 281. So the failed to deliver convergence plan played out a little bit, not to the price I was expecting. The gains I made, nil. I don't think we really made anything on it. Probably lost a little bit. Again, had exposure to a pretty good amount, but didn't lock in any profits. Should have locked in some. I sold one, but yeah, we don't need to go over that. Anyways, today I actually sold out of the rest of those contracts and for a loss, but it's okay. I actually bottom ticked it really good. I sold them right here. After the failed deliver wasn't going to happen, I didn't really want to hold all this exposure through earnings. So earnings could make it shoot up, could make it shoot down. Typically earnings with GME makes it plummet. Typically earnings with other companies, it just always varies if it's going to go up or down. Sometimes it stays stagnant, but typically earnings are going to make the stock move quite a bit one way or the other. So we shall see. It's exciting. I'm excited to hear what they have in the shareholders meeting. I'm not going to be able to stream it or anything, but I'm sure I'll read about it all on Reddit. I mean, this could be the catalyst to the shareholder meeting, really. And depending on what Cohen says, it could be huge. So on our Webull account, I got these fire options, FireEye. Can't remember the news on this. There was some news on it, and I can't remember what it was, but those probably expire worthless. All the other stocks running again for the most part. I think they're just hedges, and those that are short are covering their short positions to keep kicking the can down the road for GME. Didn't even look at eyes. Yeah, I should probably close out of this one. Maybe not. It's still looking good. TCAT's up right now. What do we have? Wish is down. But honestly, this isn't bad. This is kind of setting up a floor. It might keep going. Might just be consolidating. It looks awful on the daily, but Hard to know. Clove was our other one. Look, we were looking at down 21%. Again, this could be consolidating. I'm kind of expecting a big short, and maybe this is what it is. But I'm expecting them to short it back down to, you know, basically pumping up. They make a lot of money on pumping ups to build capital to keep from covering GME. This is a pretty large red candle though, so I'm not sure. And Clove has already had a huge run. Yep, you want to sell when it's exciting, buy when it's boring. And yeah, this is pretty boring, so maybe it's time to buy. Maybe buy a put, I don't know. GME's kind of coming down here in the aftermarket, or in the close rather. On our E-Trade account here, yep, back down to 20 grand. And that's okay. A few grand here or there, no big deal. Once we get real volume and real price action on GME, that's where the real money be made. All these little initial plays is kind of just trying to build up more capital to be able to put more in when it happens. So yeah, here's the calls we sold out of. I did sell the Clove, okay. I think I broke even on that actually. Same with, I opened up a wish call. We'll see how that goes. Oh, good news on GME actually, which doesn't seem like today really cared, but they opened, the market maker opened up more options on the option chain. So we had 370 before, or no, 570, that was the top. Oh, why is there no? Weird. Oh, wait, open interest. I guess the open interest will populate tomorrow. But yeah, they opened up all these 590 to 680. So when I saw it this morning, I was like, bullish. Maybe that means it's for Friday and the earnings and everything's gonna cause it to go crazy. That would be awesome. I don't have exposure for it other than shares, which is fine. But when it does, you can just be patient. If it really goes crazy, you can be patient, wait for a big pullback, a big settle, because it's not going to be one peak. I mean, it's going to be peaks and peaks and peaks for days and days and days, weeks, maybe months. This thing's just getting started. What else did we do on here? The GME closed. I opened up a call credit spread on Tesla. It's a bearish play. Tesla 605, 607 and a half. Basically Tesla has to close below 605 by Friday. The daily chart, it's looking really weak. Moving averages crossed over. It came up here, couldn't break that, bounced off of that, came down. MACD did cross over, but it's this big red candle here, not being able to break over that. No green candles over the 9 moving average, and it's looking like it wants to stay below that long-term moving average, the 180. So it's still bearish to me. If you look at this, yeah, it's just trending down. So I open that up, try and recoup some of the losses on GME so far. This one is, I did 4 of these, so it's 392 max profit, max loss is 608. I like credit spreads. I like them. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. Let's see, Friday we're getting a deposit, very large deposit. I'm gonna be putting directly into E-Trade. Hope it's seems sketchy. I'm putting $250,000 in here on Friday, and I'm probably going to be doing initially probably selling puts on GameStop, and then I'm going to be spreading that amount throughout my accounts. I want all my accounts to be at 25k, so I don't have a problem with day trading, and then I'll probably be just putting the rest in the long term. And well, we'll see. I want to do the wheel on $250,000. I think that would be awesome. When I was doing the wheel before, we could do around 2% a week pretty safely. Given that number is going to be more difficult with more money, I was doing it with 10,000 before, so I feel like I could do that again, but I'd like to do it and find out, see if we can do some safe 1, 2, 3% a week gains on more money. I think that'd be sick. And then also just be able to have funds for selling puts on GME and getting more shares of GME. I mean, I'm selling a house to buy GME. I'm gonna say it. Not quite, but that will be my clickbait thumbnail title at some point, probably on Friday, so keep an eye out for that. I mean, yeah, selling puts on this to me seems like a good call. I could sell one right now at 170. And the premium is actually even pretty good. It's crazy. So far to the money, and it's only got 3 days of time, but look at that premium. Oh, it's come up a lot because all this red. 170 bucks you can make on that. That's crazy. Or no, is that what it is? 120 bucks, 2 days of time, and then if it actually goes that low, you'll have 100 shares of GME for 170 bucks. Seems like a steal now. In a few days, it might not. I'm not sure. I don't think we'll come that low, honestly. If anything, I think worst case, we will come back down and fill this gap to 210. Because there's this gap here that might like to be filled. So worst case, I think we'll probably come to 210. But I'm not expecting that. I'm really not. It may be, if it is red and they're able to short it down, maybe this 266 or 280 floor. Those might be floors. And that would just add to just really consolidation on the RSI on the daily, because right now it's overbought. So coming back down to this moving average 260, this range right in here, probably be good. Consolidate around that range. So if I was to sell a put now, I'd probably sell it for, I don't know, 265, probably around there. And then yeah, but with 250k, it's crazy what you can do with premium. So let's say I sold at 250. That's even down here. No, they sold at 300. That takes 30 grand if I sold at 300. That's pretty high though. Let's say 250. 250 in my mind is quite safe. That's way down here. Or I'll say 275. Yeah, 275. Nice even number. So what is that? 27,500. So you take 250,000 divided by 27,500. That's 9. So I'd be able to sell 9 cash secured puts on GameStop at 275. So on Friday, and that just looking at the weekly is the one that ends it on Friday. This one is $1,400. So it takes money to make money. That's where this phrase comes from. So if you can do that 9 times, that ain't bad. There you go. 12 grand. I mean, given this is an unusual circumstance with GameStop having such a high IV and being, in my mind, a very safe play. Yeah, so you're not always gonna be able to have this high premium to be able to sell on a stock that you want to hold. Typically it's, you could do safe stuff on AT&T or Microsoft or the other ones we were talking about for selling puts. But those aren't volatile enough to give you high IV. You're only gonna get 30, 40% maybe. And GameStop is in a very unique situation where you have 300, 400% IV. And if you believe in the DD and believe in the company, then you should feel comfortable selling puts. At least I do. I feel comfortable selling puts on it in this 250 range. And this is pre-squeeze. I mean, given after the squeeze, I'm not sure where the price is going to settle. But yeah, so that's kind of my plan. And then when I look at that, then it doesn't make me worry about the few grand we lost on the other plays that haven't worked out so far. But anyways, guys, that's what I got for you today. Oh, the account, the long-term went crazy today because Rocket's up. I need to sell some covered calls on these. I was looking at the charts and I thought they still had room to run, so I'm kind of waiting. This is not looking good actually though on the hourly. The lower high than that one. Kind of holding a floor, but MACD ticked down. We'll see. It's good. Yeah, it's just kind of getting overextended. Actually, it's hit that resistance too. I should probably sell one right meow. I'm gonna do that. I think on Rocket and then also UWMC. We've got 140 shares of Rocket in the long term. Got 200 or 300 shares of UWMC in the long term. This one's looking better on that chart. This one still has a lot of upside too. Rocket kind of hit that resistance, but this one on the daily is really overextended. We'll see. Probably sell those covered calls. And then we've got Airbnb, we've got Corsair, those are the big ones. Airbnb is the biggest. I didn't sell a covered call on this. I thought it was looking good, but now it's not so much. Yeah, this daily candle doesn't look very nice. We'll see. Maybe it'll bounce off this tomorrow. GME selling off. Selling off. Coming down. Is it going to bounce off the 180? Let's see. It's a SPY. What's a SPY doing? Oh, it's actually inversing the other way. You don't always see that. I mean, SPY's not ripping, but it definitely is a green candle to a big red. Well, they're getting ready for earnings. iBorrow showing 300K, 1% fee. I mean, you know, that's not much. It's not much. No big deal. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy money sticks around. Thanks, guys. Follow us on Twitter if you so desire at Happy Money YT, and we have a Discord if you want to jump on there. This was a pretty crazy tweet that GameStop put out. Using all your magical powers, you can conjure one announcement. Conjure one announcement. Conjure. That's a French word, isn't it? One announcement that you've been waiting for from E3. What's it going to be? I think I read something on what's going on at E3, but I totally forgot. Something's happening. Something big is going on. And actually, this run up, I think this tweet might have caused that run up at 230. I was looking at that because I saw this happening. It might have. This is 235. This run up might have been from that GameStop tweet. I was wondering what this was from. Got some volume, a nice run up. And now the hedgies are dumping it. I didn't even compare it to AMC. Sorry, guys. Ooh, AMC's fallen too. Now AMC on the daily, I mean, this really could just be consolidation. It hasn't dropped below that moving average here. It's still even kind of high on the RSI on the daily. I guess you could call it. I guess this could kind of be a pendant, kind of a flag. I don't know. I think you guys know my thoughts on AMC. Okay, thanks guys. See you tomorrow. Peace out.